My name is Shaw Becker, and I'm a proactive, integrative wellness veterinarian. My introduction to integrative medicine, where do I start? I think honestly I would start with Barbara Harvey. I was a wildlife rehabilitator before I was a veterinarian, and so I first started volunteering at the Humane Society, scrubbing cages, walking dogs at 13, but also I started to see injured animals come in, birds with broken wings and baby bunnies and squirrels. So I really like wildlife, so I became a wildlife rehabilitator, but my success rate wasn't very good, and I heard about a woman who had amazing success rate. Her name is Barbara Harvey. So I called her up and went to visit her, and what I realized is she has the world's top success rate in rehab because she uses only homeopathy, one form of natural healing, to fix her patients. So I was introduced to homeopathy as one form of natural healing very on in my life. And to that, I continued adding tools in my toolbox. So by the time I got to veterinary school, I knew I was in vet school to learn about drugs and how to manage acute illness and infectious disease. But the one thing that they don't teach you in veterinary school is how to prevent disease from occurring. They also don't teach you about how to use food as medicine. And so my nutrition class in veterinary school was taught by the Hill Science Diet Rep, and I got a beautiful laminated book about what prescription diet to prescribe for what medical condition. And that was it. My wellness or community medicine class, my wellness course, was how to vaccinate puppies through an appropriate vaccine cycle. And while I was thankful for having both of those experiences, it didn't teach me how to intentionally create wellness in animals. It certainly didn't teach me how to prevent disease from occurring, and I had no idea how to use food as medicine, except you end up usually, like life has it, trial by fire. So you end up with a sick animal that you will do anything for, and in my situation, I had used the free kibble I got from veterinary school, and it made my dog very, very sick. And out of that, I was desperate to save her life, and so I dove into what could I do to help reverse her liver disease, and that started me on the path of fresh whole food, and that was my sophomore year of veterinary school, and I have not looked back. There are some key tips that I recommend for all pet owners. Number one, make their relationship with your pet relationship-centered, in that think about life from your animal's perspective. Animals deserve to move their bodies every day, and they get to breathe fresh air and sunshine, and they get to have a lower stress environment, and they should be able to drink clean, pure water. They should feel safe. They have a right to restful sleep and a healthy body. So some of those variables, in fact, most of those variables are our control. We hold our dogs and cats kind of captive in our homes, so they are a product of our lifestyle. So if we have healthy lifestyles, we want to create that in our animals. And if we don't have healthy lifestyles, we should use animals as an excuse to become healthy ourselves. But in the meantime, they have a right to be healthy. And there are some key things that science tells us are non-negotiable when it comes to intentionally creating health. Food is critical. And the more species-appropriate, fresh, live, whole food any mammal can eat, including us, is nourishing to our body at a cellular level. Exercise is hugely important, as is stress management. So there's some key things that we know contribute to early onset of disease and lifestyle-related illnesses. Some of those things also contain chemical loads, so chemicals either from your home or chemicals from the veterinarian, so unnecessary flea tick, over-vaccination, unnecessary drugs or antibiotics. Those are all things that are excellent for specific situations, but you want to evaluate your pet's chemical load, your pet's exercise activity, your pet's stress load, and your pet's nutritional status on a pretty consistent basis to make sure that you're doing all you can, managing your home environment to intentionally create health. So there's some great, exciting research coming out that is beginning to not just demonstrate the health benefits of fresh food, but looking at how much fresh food needs to be added before you can acquire some of those health benefits. And Dr. Anna Hjelm-Bjorkman, who is a PhD veterinary nutrition researcher out of the University of Helsinki Vet School, she was the woman that actually is doing pretty fantastic metabolomic studies. And what she has discovered, that adding 20% fresh food into a bowl of highly processed kibble, and actually not adding it, it's a replacement. you're taking 20% highly processed food out of the diet and replacing it with 20% fresh food is enough to shift the metabolic markers in animals to demonstrate a clear path of improved health and well-being from just a 20% input. My advice is this: add as much fresh food to your dog or cat's bowl as you can afford to do. I think the trend right now is, and I love it, millennials are asking the best questions to manufacturers that are actually forcing transparency. So my favorite trend coming about in the pet food industry are 2.0 pet parents that are unwilling to just listen to their veterinarian's advice or listen to a pet food company talking about why they should feed this food. Really educated 2.0 pet parents are demanding transparency documentation, third-party validation of what the nutritional analysis is of the food. Where's the sourcing of the meats? Are the ingredients GMO-free, or what's the glyphosate load in the food? Where is the source of origin of some of the trace minerals that are included in the food? These are fantastic questions that I think haven't been asked before to manufacturers, but that are really helping to identify the ethical, transparent players in the industry versus the players that have never had to answer those questions and are unwilling to answer those questions.